And he's back. All right, let's talk about controlled discomfort. All right, now I go through a heck of a lot of discomfort with my job and my hobby, which is weightlifting. Plus, during the spring and summer, up until late fall, when the grass and everything finally starts dying, and I don't have to go out and mow it, plus all the other work I got to do around my property, I'm in pretty much a constant state of discomfort. Now, that does affect me mentally. That affects my attitude. I can get into periods where I'm just run down and just grouchy and irritable, and that there adds to it. But I'm talking about, say, fasting. Now, on the weekends, I will eat like three times. It'll be breakfast, it'll be supper, and then there'll be like a snack. But during the week, depending on how long we work. If I work a 10-hour day, I'm going to take something along so I can eat a little bit at lunch. Maybe it's just a little piece of cheese. But I try to go without as long as possible while I'm already uncomfortable with the job I have, which is physically demanding. But putting yourself through stuff like that, just fasting, I'm just going to focus on that. They say cold showers. Where I tried that in the past, and I did not find really any benefit from it. Some of these guys will, and I'm thinking they got to realize that everybody's different. You're not going to react the same way or have the same results as somebody else if they're doing it. Okay? The famous guy is William Hoff. William Hoff and his cold, he goes out and into the cold lakes and stuff like that or whatever. Uh, that never did anything for me at all. And especially here in the wintertime. I have coal fire and it's gravity fed, and I do have a blower, but I will put it on depending on if it gets damp or if it gets down like we had 2 degrees and 4 degrees. That eventually will make the house colder, so I will put the blower on. So I don't need to go down in a cold cellar where my shower is and take a cold shower. That is not going to be very good for anything. I mean, especially when you're working hard and you get kind of run down, and then all of a sudden you got a cold on top of that. Yeah, so I do go through a lot of discomfort, so I don't really need to add anything else to it. But say you work in an office, and okay, that's uncomfortable because you're sitting in a cubicle and you're pushing papers all day, I guess. But, you know, just fasting for, I don't know, say you go get to work at 9. Say you get up at like 7 and you eat breakfast around 8. I don't know how that would be. We'll say you get up at 6 and you eat breakfast around 6:30. And then you work from 9 to 5. So when you come home, say you eat supper around 6:30, which would be 12 hours. Some people say you should go 16. I don't know. I mean, I would do 12 hours. But going through just getting yourself to where you build like an iron mindset, because it don't matter how long you've been doing this. There's some times that I will work an 8-hour day. I will do a fast from breakfast until supper. And sometimes, depending on how things are working in my body, maybe around 12 noon, I get hungry. Now I ain't got any food. So I'm just going to have to suck it up and I'm going to have to deal with it. I do drink coffee, and that does help a little bit, but sometimes that makes it worse. So putting yourself through things like that, I don't know, maybe you have an area where you have, uh, relatively not really high mountains, but you have areas where maybe you can hike up a really steep grade up to the top of a pretty high hill. Something like that. Because mentally, you got to build a mental toughness in order to, deal with life in general. It'll help you in everything. It ain't going to make things better. You're not going to have a nice smooth road or feel good. You might feel your mouth get dry and you have a lump in your throat and a knot in your stomach. But you're going to be able to get through it because here's the thing. My childhood really made me into a extreme low self-esteem, suicidal thoughts quite a bit. I was this close many times. Okay. And here I am. I'm going to be 58 this year. That that I that was put on me by other people. Okay. And it toughened me up. It's not the way it should have been. Okay. But I can't go, well, I wish that never happened. It happened. So and the reason I'm going through other areas in my life because of the pain is because I became I guess you could call it a glutton for punishment, where I would justify it because I deserved it. Now, that kind of punishment and discomfort, that you need to get out of. If you're dealing with situations that, well, I just feel like I got to be here. That's I called myself mentally ill. That's what it is. It's mental illness. But putting yourself through discomfort, like I said in the previous video, that 5-minute walk or 10-minute walk, put on a heavy vest, put on a 25-pound vest and walk. Okay? Now, you don't have to go out there. You can go out there until, you walk maybe far enough that you're kind of going, okay, turn around and come back. Okay? You don't need to go until you're like, you know, all woozy and everything and falling over and you're walking around not knowing where you are. But yeah, little by little, just ramp it up each time. Okay? And like I said, I'm not really going to go. I got that affiliate marketing course, and I'm going to put a link in the description. And if you're interested in it, it's 14 different income streams. Uh, and I'm going to say this: it can possibly help you to escape the 9 to 5. I've been in it for 2 months now, going on three. So far, nothing. But I'm going to keep working and I'm going to try to find different ways of promoting this. I may move from this, what I'm doing, to something else. So be prepared for that because I've got to adapt. All right. So that link will be in the description. And if you're interested, click on it and I'll see you next time.